all of these tools, and that's what our video today is about. The tools that Chris uses. And what's one of the first tools you want to show us today?
Well, I'm going to start with three.
Three.
And
Uh-oh.
in the mango business, hopefully you get fruit. And when the fruit is on the tree, I mean, last year was not a great year, but this year we're hoping for a great year. And the fruit on the tree has to be safely brought down to ground level.
Safely. I like that
Yes.
word, because I see one of your tools there. And well, actually, that looks heavier dutier than the one you get at Walmart or Home Depot.
Yeah,
But it is. But this word "safely" with that one, I have concern.
so I have three picker poles, and there's one of them that I like using a lot, and then there's other people like other ones. So this right here is actually.
We're gonna bring it down a little bit into the camera.
Yeah. So this is actually used to extend quite a bit. Doesn't extend very well anymore. But our trees are very reachable. We trim our trees every year so they don't get to be monsters. But this is a screen basket here, and it has razors up here.
I'm going to show the camera real quick.
So that it will actually cut the
so
the stem of the fruit off of the the branch, and so that it's you have to pull at this point. It used to be sharper. You can feel it a little bit if you go like that.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm good. I'll trust you.
But anyway, it's one of those things where you can get, if you have a cluster of mangoes, you can cut that panicle and all of them fall into the basket. It's a very fast way of getting mangoes.
And I have one that's similar to this. It's a little slightly different design, but it does have the razor blades. I like this net because it's firmer. The one I have is more of a fabric, a cotton net. That's so if you're popping mangoes out real quick, I bet that allows you to also unload your bag quickly. So
yeah. So that, as I said,
let me set
a very
this
nice
aside.
picker, but I don't use it.
You don't use it? Who does?
That the two guys that do pick most of the fruit. I pick some of the fruit.
Right.
This is a very basic claw type of picker. It has a basket for the this pulls the mango off of the branch that it's on, and then if I were using this, I would make sure that I'd put like either a sponge or a rag on the bottom just to cushion it. Even though this is just wood here, it's still, you don't,
a little bit of a drop. You have that drop from when it pops.
Especially if it's ripe or almost ripe, it can bruise the bottom. So you want to put something on the bottom of this basket to cushion the fall of the mango. But this is a very effective type of picker also.
Yeah, and this is sort of your common, easily found at Ace or big box stores of different different styles. And the other ones are more on like a landscape store. What's the last one you have to show us?
So this one is Wolfgarten. And I like this one a lot. It has this cloth bag, and so there's no way that the fruit is going to get bruised when it falls into that. This type of picking arrangement, you can basically get the mango from a lot of different angles. Also, you can adjust the angle of this, depending on the situation, where you might be looking, if you're going straight up into the center of a tree, you want it more flat, and so they can get into where the mango is, and then you pull it or whatever. So you have a lot. You can orient the head a lot of different ways.
Yeah, and so I don't actually have this particular brand, but I have another brand that is designed extremely similar till they redesigned it, and their redesign is bad. So I went and bought 20 of their old designs as fast as I figured out they redesigned it. But I love this style. This is like almost very, very similar to that I have, adjustable head, and you're right. You want to move under a branch, around a branch. It really helps. It protects the mango very well in terms of the bag, and compared to this metal one, where I have seen, and people will complain occasionally, where the claw will mar the top of the fruit, or it can depending on how experienced everybody is. Yeah, I like that. And this only has basically one sort of angle, whereas this really allows some flexibility. What
Yeah,
else were you
then
saying?
another benefit, of course, is that you can make it much longer.
Yeah.
So it extends. I think this is the end of it. If it, yeah, right here, I think is where it extends. So this is now what you think, a 10-foot
That's a
pole,
12.
12-foot. Okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, you can get way up into the trees with this without having to use a ladder.
This extends here too, so you can even go further, right?
No, I think that it is
It's a,
to change the head.
okay.
So
So I'll give you a tip.
like that.
Well, one of the tools that I use for the pole is paint poles. I go to a hardware store and I use paint poles because they have some poles that can reach as high as like 25 feet. Now, it's a workout when you use a 25-foot
Yeah.
pole and that mango gets in there, it becomes a lot of weight. But some of the trees I work with are every bit 30 plus feet high. Yeah, it's a workout in the summer. I lose some weight, which is good. What else do you have?
So that's the picker pole department.
Yeah.
I brought my favorite pruner. This one is, I think, made in Italy, but it is just very solid.
Can we bring it up to the camera?
Sure,
Yeah.
it just cuts through anything,
So
basically.
what I notice about it compared to sort of like the pruners that I commonly see at, again, the big box stores, is those usually have more the lopper style, the rounded, curved blades in there. And then this is double blade, on both sides. Whereas those others just
Yeah,
have
the
like the
flat
blunt
thing,
end and then the blade on it. And so these are very nice. You want to say the brand or?
Well, I think it was Vesco, but I'm not sure. But it was, like they last a long time. I got these. I've got two of those, and I think it was at least 10 years ago, and I use them all the time.
Yeah, I find with certain things it is worth sometimes the extra money on investment to get a quality tool that is that works and that lasts and that you feel.
Not only is it
good with.
a lot of times cheaper because you don't have to replace it all the time, but I
Yeah.
think it probably is good for my mental health because I just can't stand having frustration with tools, and so I like to have tools that work well.
Yeah, well, my dad was in carpentry, so I grew up around the carpentry a bit, and the same thing. Like, it's nice to have sort of the right tool that works, that's a quality product instead of one. Yeah, you don't want to be in the middle of a job going to replace stuff.
So this takes care of almost everything that I prune from the ground. We keep on top of the pruning of trees, and so they don't get huge. And when they don't get huge, you generally don't get these huge branches. So even though this is a fairly small pruner, I can really do a lot with it. But there are times when this is not enough, and so this is what we use when we have a more significant branch to cut.
What size approximately would that cut in diameter?
This other one, it depends on the particular variety of fruit tree.
Okay.
But I
That's
have
fair
cut, like I would say it's fairly easy to cut 3/4 of an inch branch.
That's pretty good. That's good.
Yeah.
And so when you start to get over 3/4, you move to a heavier, larger.
And plus, not only is the diameter larger on the bigger branches, but the wood is harder in general.
Yeah.
And so when you go to one of these long-handled pruners, you have the miracle of leverage, where it doesn't take as much force if if what you're wielding is longer, and so this will cut. I mean, it opens up quite a bit, so this will cut over an inch. I'd say 1.5 inch branch with that. But I try to not have trees get so big that it's difficult to prune them.
Yeah.
And I, of course, often will have a handsaw. I like the foldable ones so that things don't get. I don't happen to have one in the golf cart, if you can imagine, but
I was looking
every
for it.
other day this week I've had one there.
How often do you replace, say, the handsaw? Because if you're using that and you're cutting a larger, that 2-3 inch piece out or bigger, how often do you find that blade gets dull and you either have to replace the blade or the saw itself?
Well, I do try to, clean the blade off afterwards. It's good for a lot of circumstances to put some oil on it. That way it doesn't rust, and it also helps clean off some of the sap.
Take care of your tools, kids.
Yeah, and so that works out. What I normally have one or two, foldable hand saws, and if I usually have two saws at different levels of use. And so one might be looking really sad, but still works. And then if it doesn't work because the branch is a little tougher than I thought, then I'll go to the other saw. And if I happen to leave one at a tree, I still have a backup. So I like the foldable saws because you really don't want to catch your skin on the blades, and they're easy to just keep in a cart every other time than today.
All right. Well, I know you have one more. Well, I don't want to say it's tool because you have something else to show us, and I'm almost more just as excited about this.
Well, I think I'll go for the tool here.
Oh, you
And
still have
then,
the tool?
yeah, we have one
Do
more
we have a tool still?
One
Oh,
more
okay.
tool. So
Oh, yes,
yeah,
yes.
this is pretty cool.
I think I've seen that in some Chinese movies where they do some fighting with those stick like that.
Yeah,
They get a
so
blade on there.
this is a serious saw, and good to keep this on because it was really easy to catch your skin on this. But this is for if we have a tall tree that has a pretty significant branch, we can cut it with this pole saw.
You don't climb the tree?
Yeah, well, only for fun, not for work. But basically, this, to remember which one goes first, I think it's this. It extends.
Uh-oh. Is there a locking button here too?
Oh, yeah, I guess that's it.
Yeah. Been a while. Well, see, that's good. You haven't let the trees get so big where you need that tool.
Yeah.
Which,
yeah,
or maybe
this has a definite sequence to it, and so there we go. It's
okay.
been a while, so yeah, you have to do them, like release them in order.
And that pole looks like heavy duty.
Yeah.
I have seen like a similar pole like this at again the big box stores, and the pole is actually very sort of flimsy and it's not heavy duty and rugged, and the pole will wobble so much as it's extended that cutting it is, let's just say, challenging to your blood pressure.
Yeah, this is, you feel this, it is a very solid thing.
Oh, that's heavy too.
Yeah,
pretty heavy.
And this is only one level of extension. It will go, it'll double the size of this.
Oh yeah.
Did the, like the other extensions. So you can really get high into trees. We've used that a lot in some areas for like palm trees where they have these huge branches and such. It will give you a workout if you use it in really high places for a while, but it is a very, very useful tool.
I'm sure it will.
It's a Silky Tool is the brand name, and they make good stuff.
Silky. Here, see if the camera will get that real quick. Silky. Yeah, that's I could see. Do they only do cutting? Could you put a picking head on this?
They have different types of heads on that, for that, and basically, as long as you don't do something crazy, the pole and everything is going to work forever, and so it's just a matter of replacing, like for instance the saw, or like adding other attachments to it.
Yeah, but, I would not want to do a picking with this though.
Yeah, it's very heavy.
I would.
I think it's best.
I would get some muscles.
Yeah.
All right. Well, You have the scabbard.
Yeah, definitely don't want to have that exposed. Very sharp.
All right. Well, then now I think we're gonna see
Oh, the grand finale
the
here.
grand finale. Yeah, I'm excited about, and it's not really the tool; it's the carrying case,
Presentation.
carrying case. Yeah.
So yeah, this is my little grafting kit. One of them. I have several, so
Oh,
that
we gotta get
yeah,
closer than that.
and
Let's see.
yeah, so it's not full of grafting things right now, but I always travel with it.
So if you can't see, this is an old school metal lunchbox and Roadrunner. I love the classic cartoons. The new ones are anyway not so good.
Yeah.
But what?
Yeah, and it's sort of funny to show my kids is that
I think you're out of the frame a bit here.
it has this, which kids these days do not know what this is.
If you know what this is, put it in the comments. Why is there a random metal bar in this lunchbox? Put it in the comments if you know.
Yeah, because my kids did
But
not
my
know
viewers
the
are of a certain age. Most of them know.
But yeah, I carry usually grafting things in here. I've got some grafting strips. I've got some labels. I've got some pens to mark on labels and trees and such. And basically, and a razor blade just in case you need it. This one is pretty used, so it would only be in a very unusual circumstance that I use that. But and glasses in case I have very detailed work to do. So it's just one of my catch-all things, and it always makes me smile to see the Roadrunner.
It made me smile when she showed it to me. But yeah, and it's a little grafting kit, something you can grab, take out to your tree, to wherever you're working. Has everything you need in there. Or in theory, because I didn't see grafting tape.
Right. I mean, it's like.
But in theory, it would have everything you need,
it does.
like grafting tape,
and I will put the scions in there too, because they're protected from the sun. You don't want to have your scions start to grow before they're on a tree.
Yeah. And I can tell you, I've taken scions to do some grafting, and I'll set it down in the grass, and then I almost lose it, or I'll come close to stepping on it. So yeah, that would be a good place to set up like your like a little dentist table where you have all the little tools that they need to do their job.
Yeah. So anyway, that's the secret. The secret to grafting is to have the Roadrunner on your side.
The Roadrunner? Yeah, because Coyote Skills, I don't think will do it. He tries hard, though. You got to give him credit for trying.
Yeah.
He does try. Anyway, thank you for showing us all of your tools here, or at least some, because we're missing the saw, but most of them. And it was interesting. I will say I like this picking head. Just awesome. I like I said, the one I use is extremely similar, slightly different brand, but it is fantastic for picking mangoes safely. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you. And of course, if this is depends on the date you watch this, but June 29th, 2025, big event.
Yep.
Thank you, Chris.
Yeah. Thanks, Vince.
Hi, Chris.
Hey, Vince.
Anyway, you have anything you want to say about for a few months from now?
A few months from now.
What's going to happen in a few months from now that's we've been spending countless hours on?
Gosh, that's a hard question. Were we going to go to Disney?
No, we were going to have Disney down here at the convention center, I think.
It's like the Mango Disney, though,
Mango
right?
Disney? Yeah, Mango Disney, yes.
This is like if, like Disney World, you've seen Mickey, you've seen, whatever. I mean, it's nice for one time, but this is an event that is going to be classic. It's going to be like the place to be if you are a mango lover.
And it's air conditioned.
Yep, that's great.
So if you don't know, we're talking about our Mango Festival. It is going to be June 29th in the West Palm Beach Convention Center, and we both want to see you guys there. Tickets are going to be available at FloridaMangoFestival.com. So check out that website. It's called FloridaMangoFestival.com, and you can buy your tickets directly there. Also, if you're interested in becoming a vendor and you grow mangoes in Florida, we want to have you. We have reached out to people as far as Tampa, Merritt Island, and we're trying to get a lot of mango vendors. We really want it to be a mango focused event. And if you're interested in volunteering, maybe if you're part of a rare fruit council or club somewhere in Florida and you want to volunteer and you think that's an event you'd be interested in, also on our website there will be a volunteer form.